Hey everybody, it is Laura from The Magic of White Pages, and today I would like to share with you my current reading list. These things won't probably all be done like really fast or anything like that, so by the time I make the next video I might still be reading some of these, because some things I'm actually reading with people and the other ones I'm just reading on my own because I am a book jumper. I have to hop from book to book and have multiple things in my disposal at all times. There is very rare moments when I literally just sit down and read a book all the way through without reading something else in between. Very rare. It's happened before, but it's very unknown. Otherwise, it's usually kind of read a few chapters. Oh, I wonder what's happening in this book. Yeah, let's see what's happening in this book. Kind of thing. Anyways, we're going to go on and we're going to move on into the books that I am reading currently right now. Not in any specific order, just kind of the order of what pile they're sitting there, and I'm just kind of reading. So the first thing that I'm reading is actually the second book in the series of Unfortunate Event, The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. I am actually liking this one even more than the first one. The first one I found quite amusing, but I kind of am trying to rate these books based off of how I feel a child will be able to perceive it and enjoy it without constantly bombarding me with questions. And I'm aging these around, like, because I usually read them to my 4- and 5-year-old nephews and stuff. So based on like where I would get questions. Now, a child that's a bit older and reading on their own would probably enjoy it, but they still probably would have a few questions and be like, So I'm kind of giving my own little rating system for these books, but I am enjoying this one a lot more. We'll probably be done this in the next day or so because, like I said, I am a book hopper, so I just kind of hop back and forth, kind of thing. Quite enjoyable. The next book that I'm actually reading is this one's actually a reread for me, and that is Percy Jackson and the Battle of the Labyrinth. Why did I have to look at that? By Rick Riordan. It is book 4 in a series of 5. I am actually doing a reread of Rick Riordan's books at the moment because I love them so much. This is my 3rd time through the first Percy Jackson series, and I will hopefully commence after this going to my first reread of the Heroes of Olympus series, because I've only recently, in the last year, read the last book in that series because I was delaying the inevitable ending, because I have a tendency to do that.
Don't like endings. They hurt too bad, but I'm getting a little better. I'm moving on. I'm moving forward. I'm going through it. It's an up and down roller coaster. Sometimes we delay, sometimes we actually just plunge right in and just go without thinking, and then we go and process the fact that it's over, and then just like, no! Like I did with the Remnants Chronicles recently, went on there and I'm just like, I need more. I can't be over.
I love how with the series you can actually see Percy himself actually maturing and growing a little bit while still keeping his childish wit and charm. So the books kind of grow with you, the world grows with you, the characters grow with you, and I really enjoy seeing that maturity. So when you're reading the first book, you can see quite a big difference between the 5th book and the 1st book, and the way that he acts and responds, and solutions to different situations and responses to different situations. I really enjoy that, and it's really great to think about future kids sitting there and reading these books and the books growing with them. I highly enjoy that about Riordan's books, and Harry Potter actually, is that they actually do grow and mature, and the situations grow and mature as well.
But there are a few things that a little bit annoy. The time restrictions on the books, the time limits of when they can get stuff done. I think the term I'm looking for is irk. It highly irks me. Very much.
But other than that, everything else about these books, I'm just like, preciousness. So if I can overlook those things, I'm sure other people can overlook those things and enjoy these books because they are very precious. Great reread. The next book that I'm actually reading is Stars Above by Marissa Mayer. Oh my goodness, these novellas are so amazing. I love them. So far I have read all the way through to Cress's story, so I'm going to be starting on the Princess and the Guard soon, which is a lot longer. The one about Cress, it was a little bit less informative than the other stories were, but as of like bringing back the emotions from the story and the characters and things, it really does its job, so I did still enjoy it. But as of itself, by its own, I'm glad that some of the other stories are a little bit more informative, like The Queen's Army. That one just made me all angry and salty and sad all over again. I was just like, bring back the feels for why. I'm just like, why him? Why? That's all I'm gonna say for spoiler's sake, but why?
Tell me why you want to pick on certain people and certain characters and just hurt them so much. You can only take so much, but then you turn around and they're taking more. And I'm surprisingly quoting that from the Remnants Chronicles books because it said some stuff about that. There's always more to take, and why that specific character? And I almost dropped my book.
This is really good, really enjoyable. I can't wait to get to the end. Please do not spoil me about the last novella in this if you have read it in the comments, because I have not got that far and I do not want to know who does what and his stuff like that, because that is, yeah, I have been avoiding looking up anything Lunar Chronicles until I finish this book because of that specific thing. The next book that I am actually reading, I'm reading with my nephew. He's 4, his name is Alex, and we are reading this book. And since I know I do not pronounce this book the right way, and he pronounces it now the way that I pronounce it, The Invention of Hugo, can't pronounce that word, so I usually call it cabaret, and I know that's wrong, but I can't actually change it because the one time I actually looked up what it was actually said and I tried to say it to my nephew, he argued with me about it, so now we just call it cabaret because he thinks it's cabaret and I can't change it, I can't fix it, I destroyed it. I'm sorry, I made up a random name and now I just gotta stick with it now. We are actually just under the halfway mark with it, and it's still gonna be a long time before we're done this. You can only read this in little bits and pieces because of his attention span, but he's really enjoying it, and we usually do kind of a little refresher before we start reading it again. But it's good, it's cute. And the last book that I'm currently reading is another one that I am reading with somebody I love. He is 5 years old and his name is Wyatt, and it is the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone Illustrated Edition. We are actually 60% done this book. We usually read about a chapter at a time. We started a couple of weeks ago. He does t-ball and art and stuff like that, so we kind of we're only able to read like a chapter a week now, whereas before we were reading 4 chapters a week. So we've had to diminish our speed of reading it, but he is loving it. It is his first time reading Harry Potter, and he is so excited, and I cannot wait to read the next book, which is coming out in October. Once we finish these up, being able to read the second book with him. Talk about adventures, people! It's awesome. I'm kind of glad that the books are getting released in a slow pace because of that reasoning. So every year we get to read another one. He'll be a year older and be able to understand a little bit more every single time around. So I'm just so excited. He loves the pictures. He loves the story. He's getting really into it. And he's watched the movies multiple times. So he's actually having a better understanding of the movies that he didn't get the first time around now that we have been reading this book. So that is the books that I am currently reading. If you want to see more videos from me, please like and subscribe. I would absolutely love it if you leave comments and talk, because I absolutely love talking to people. I am sorry that I did disappear for a while, for anybody that noticed that it was gone, and those that are new here, just ignore that. I try not to do that again. So hopefully you'll see more videos from me soon, and have a good day. And stuff. That was a terrible exit thing, but later.
I actually just recorded a video, and I don't care if you know this, because the truth is, I was so hot. Like, I don't mean like saying, I meant literally hot, not like, you know, that term hot. I meant I was hot, so I needed to change, so that is hence the wardrobe change. Didn't even care, I would have stayed in the same shirt, but it was just, I was dying. So, not literally dying, you know, figuratively dying. Because then I could just be like, the next thing that I'm currently reading at the moment is Stars Above by Marissa Mayer. Oh my word. So good. Now that I'm thinking about it. Grace. That says Mayer, right? Gosh, let me read you that. Punctuate words, form, mind, please.